What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Brian Costa, and today I've got a really special episode for you guys. Joining me on the show today are two guys that have made their mark on New England through their unique combination of sports and music. In 2016, their Patriots Anthem titled Champion took New England sports fans by storm and now has nearly 1 million views on YouTube. Now, 6 years later, they are back again with a new single called Patriot, the new Era Anthem, which is now currently streaming. So without any further ado, please welcome to the show, Brandon Capp and Randy Lowe. Boys, how are we doing today?
We're good. We're good. It's game day. We're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. We're recording this on the, just a couple hours away now from the Patriots Bills wild card matchup. A lot of tension in the air. I don't know how you guys are feeling about this game, but a little nervous myself. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens in the next couple hours.
This is a pick'em game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're never going to bet against the Patriots, but
yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. The Bills they're tough. Allen's dope. They're a great team, but I think that this year we've definitely shown what we could do if we play consistent. So I feel as though as long as they play a clean game, we still got Belichick. No one has Belichick besides us. So there's not a player that can replicate what he can do. So
no, absolutely. I
think if we play a clean game, man, we got this. What you think?
No. Clearly we're the underdogs, right? But that could actually work in our favor. It's our game to win. It's theirs to lose. So I think we can pull it off. We've done it before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done it before, and hopefully they can do it again once more. Maybe Mac Jones can, really be that guy that we drafted him to be, and we'll have to see what happens there. And, obviously a lot of exciting things going on there, a lot of exciting things going on with yourselves. I'll cover that in just a second. But the first thing I wanted to kind of figure out is, obviously you guys have the unique combination of, talking about sports in your music and, more specifically New England sports. But the first thing I wanted to ask is, how did you guys kind of meet each other? Like, where did you guys kind of, how did this all start with you guys?
So we met back in middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seventh grade.
Yeah, man.
He was in the lobby playing his PSP. He was playing Midnight Club.
Oh my God. I think I looked it up. You guys are from Brockton, right?
Yeah, but Brockton area.
Yeah. Brockton area. Okay, yeah. I was seeing some articles. It was just like, oh, they're from the Brockton area. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So what was your guys' experience like with sports growing up? Like, what sports did you guys like mainly play when you were younger?
I think we both did. I did 2 years of football in high school.
Okay.
And then just as recreational, I'm big into basketball as well, but nice. I never played on any league or anything.
Yeah, I did. Obviously when I was a kid, I kind of played all the different sports like soccer, baseball. Yeah. I did a year of football just to try it. And it was fun. But boxing was my thing because I come from a boxing family. So I did some amateur boxing and I've been in and out of my family's boxing gym, Pacquiao boxing in Brockton. I've been in and out of that gym for like a long time, just because it's the family thing and it's in my blood. So I'm related to Rocky Marciano. So he is the only undefeated heavyweight champion in history. He's one of the greatest ever. So my family does a lot with Rocky. We have our own Rocky Marciano tournament that we do, Tournament of Champions. It's the biggest tournament in New England. So I did some boxing myself. I won the tournament twice and, never went pro or anything like that, but definitely, learned a lot. So it's fun.
That is awesome, man. I mean, I did for myself. I kind of had a personal connection with martial arts when I was younger. I did karate for about 10 years, ended up getting my second degree black belt in that. So when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I feel you with that.
Nobody's messing with you, man.
Dude, it's a ton of fun. But then you talked about soccer, man. I come from a soccer town, even though I can't stand the sport. Man, it's ridiculous. I'm from Sutton, Mass. So that's the deal with that. So so I guess in sports for you guys, who were some people that maybe really, I mean, obviously you talked about, coming from a boxing lineage, but maybe in terms of some coaches and individuals, who were some people that really inspired you younger in your, when you were during your playing days?
You want to start?
So I mean, obviously Rocky because
absolutely.
He's absolutely one of the GOATs, but Manny Pacquiao for boxing, he was someone who, like, when he was fighting, I just loved the guy, like, I think sometimes there's that connection with athletes you really like, you connect with them past what they do on the field or in the ring or whatever. Like, you just say, man, I want to be like that guy, or, I just genuinely like that guy. I want him to win. Tom Brady, obviously, I don't care what team Tom Brady plays on. He's the greatest. I love all the personality that he's showing now. It's really refreshing. And, I wish we'd seen more of that while he was in New England for all these years, because, he's a really fun guy, and, he talks like the rest of us, and it's really cool to see. So, Tom Brady's my all-time favorite athlete, up there with Rocky and Manny Pacquiao. And there's a lot of guys, but off the top, probably them.
Yeah.
Piggyback off the Tom Brady thing, I think it was his story that a lot of people gravitate to, including myself. Him just, obviously falling to the bottom of the draft and then becoming like the greatest of all time. It's just like a crazy, story. And it's something that is inspiring, I think, to both of us.
Definitely.
And then there's obvious ones, there's the Michael Jordans and stuff like that. And he's got a great story as well, but I think it was just his killer mentality. You know what I mean? He didn't let anyone think that they even had a shot, going at him. So those are two big ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. Brandon, I know you mentioned you mentioned Pacquiao. You also mentioned the things that he did outside of the ring as well. With him especially, it's just remarkable. I'm pretty sure he's like running for like president of the Philippines right now. The stuff that guy does is insane. I'm like, you want to talk about someone doing something outside the ring? That is a perfect example of that, because the man is trying to be the leader of a country.
Right.
And I just want to add one more thing about Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah.
The craziest thing about Pacquiao is he was, as poor as can be. In the Philippines and everything. He weighed like 80 pounds, and he ended up, obviously, he was fighting, but he worked up and was world champion in 8 divisions. Like, that's still like, no one is ever going to touch that again. Like, that's unheard of for a guy to be so small and win the belt in every division, going up 8 times. So think 100%. About that, right? And then also, too, he won the welterweight championship at 40, and he beat a top guy. And then, he retires, and now he's running for the president. So he just does a lot of positive things. And in my opinion, if you're going to be a celebrity or be a star, you got to give back, man. It's not all about everything else. You got to be able to give back and, do something for people. So.
Absolutely. You've seen that already. I was mentioning that he's running for president. I think he's already a senator down there. So like, he already has, So it's crazy. He already has insane ties. And just seeing like, he's literally one of this nation's leaders going off to like physically fight somebody. It's unbelievable. It's insane. We were talking about some of your sports idols and different guys that you looked up to for inspiration. I guess for across New England sports in general, what are some of your favorite moments in general? There's so many of them over the past 20 something years at this point that it's kind of tough to pick. But for you guys, what probably is the most impactful New England sports moment for you guys, and why?
Yeah,
it's got to be. I think you're going there, right?
Well, there's a couple that come to mind. Obviously, there's the Break the Curse World Series win.
It's a good one.
Back in 2004. That was the the whole story that goes with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a big one. Obviously, there was the Celtics winning in 2007. That championship, that was a long time coming.
Yeah.
But as far as like New England Super Bowls
moments, it's gotta be.
Yeah, it's probably got to be that Falcons win, right?
Gotta be that
100%.
Comeback Falcons win.
I don't know if. I don't know. That's just a hard thing to ever like recreate. There will be a ton of more special moments, to come, obviously, but to be in the Super Bowl like that, and that's the one thing that we're going to get there, obviously, with our current team because, Mac is great and, still his rookie year.
Yeah.
And I feel as though that, they're not really allowing him yet to fully go out there and ball like he can. I think they're being very conservative with him. So, I think in the future, we're going to see a lot of those, comeback wins, but at least in the Brady era, that was like who we were. I mean, if we weren't killing you, then, we were basically coming back and, we'd win. And I think that was probably, for me, I think that was the most exciting thing about watching through the Brady era and growing up in that, is that when you would watch the Patriots, you would never be able to say that we're out of a game.
Yeah.
Because of, yes, the whole team, but because of Tom, like he's just a winner. He's just a winner, and he's the best who ever done it, and no one will ever do what he's done. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, absolutely. I know for myself in terms of sports moments, I mean, 2004 for me, I obviously respect everything that went on with it. I feel kind of something with it, but for me, I was 3 years old when that happened. So I don't have that kind of a connection to it.
We were like 7 or something. So,
okay. So, I mean, yeah, but you were at least like, I think present, like mentally when it was happening.
It's different when you're 3. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Then 07, I probably was around the age that you guys were, but I wasn't really into sports at the time. I wasn't into baseball. 2013, ironically, was the first year I got into baseball just out of happenstance. And then just seeing like the Red Sox do what they did that year after the marathon bombing and everything like that was just the perfect culmination for me, like becoming a baseball fan. And then, I like the Falcons Super Bowl. Obviously, you can never recreate that. But then 2018 has kind of a weird place in my heart for the Red Sox too, because of them winning the World Series and then the Patriots going on to win the Super Bowl. Now, it wasn't the most exciting Super Bowl, but for me, that was my senior year of high school. So I was like, it felt like I was like leaving high school on like the best possible note possible. All of our teams were winning. I think my friend's high school football team had won like their state tournament. Our school's like hockey team had won their state tournament. So everything felt like it was like coming together at once in that year. And it was so amazing. I mean, I got to go to the Super Bowl parade for 53. It was, so those are definitely some moments that stick out in my mind. I was going to ask you like about, obviously you guys brought up champions, and I was gonna then ask like what ring is probably your favorite, but like Tom Brady, I think we have to just say the next one.
The next one.
We definitely have to go with that. But obviously, so many great moments have definitely, I feel like, helped your guys' careers in terms of music, and that's what I want to transition into next. So, before we talk about your, where you guys are at right now. The next thing I want to discuss is, how did you guys necessarily get into music? Like what like similar to sports, what got you into doing that at a young age and then progressing to now?
So, so for me, ever since I was a kid, 3 years old, I went to a performing arts school.
Oh, wow.
Same time that I went to.
Where'd you go?
It was called Capuchoni's School of Performing Arts. And they're out of Bridgewater.
Okay.
And they were an incredible school. We did so much. We did nationals, and as a collective group, like we won, a lot of stuff. And but I got a lot of training, when it came to performing, and it was singing, dancing, acting. So you know what I mean. And it was like musical theater stuff too. So like technically that's my background. Although you would never know because I don't sound like a, that's not my sound, you know what I mean? But I think that stuff's awesome, and that's my background with it. So, at the same time, I was always an entertainer as a kid. So I was always putting on concerts for my parents and my family, and, doing, I loved like all the different groups back in the day, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And, that's like when I was like a little kid, so used to always do that, performed in front of my school and stuff as a kid. But what got me into like actually being like, like an actual artist is a couple of our friends, including Randy. We started recording, when we were like freshmen in high school and stuff. And I was the one who got like the music program like on my computer, and I got a little bedroom set up,
Okay.
So everyone would come over and we'd all record in my bedroom, and I started learning how to mix and stuff. And then I just recorded like a lot of myself there as well, and taught myself how to write. I never wrote, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I had to if I wanted to be able to put music out. So kind of taught myself how to do that. I'm not going to lie, most of my high school experience was, me kind of writing and stuff in my notebooks. But I mean, I turned pro my senior year in high school, had a couple different managers and did a lot of great stuff. I've been featured on MTV, did the Kiss 108 concert, I performed with some people like Tyga and Big Sean, Jason Derulo, people that I listened to when I was in high school and stuff. So, even like before me and Randy started collaborating, I definitely knew that this is what I want to do. And I've just been determined to, make it my full-time, career and be able to go all the way with it. It's a very tough business, but yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Randy, what about yourself?
Yeah, no. So as far as like beginning to do music, I guess just like most people that do like hip hop music, I was inspired by the people that I would listen to. So like Jay-Z's, like early Eminem, Jadakiss and stuff like that. And those guys helped me get the inspiration to like start, putting together my first rhymes. And then around high school time, him and I started doing music out of his bedroom with the other friends and stuff like that. And then it just evolved and over the years. And I think we both have our own identities, specifically with our own music.
Yeah.
So we're both evolving and trying new things out every day. But, this is something with the anthems that like people get excited about, especially in the New England area.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. And I also want to say as well that like Randy said, I mean, my earlier stuff was like pop. It was like pop music,
Yeah.
And obviously Randy's straight hip hop, but he's super versatile, and so am I.
100%.
So, and I feel as though, and I'm sure you'd agree that like the reason why we collaborate so well is because we know each other so well, but we are versatile. So, I think a lot of dope artists would have trouble, say, putting together a song for the Patriots, because you're in that position where you have to make something that, most people are going to like. I mean, think about the age bracket of like sports, right? It's like babies to like old people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
no, exactly.
You have to make something that is going to resonate with everybody. So, obviously we keep the songs clean. If you listen to, our other music and stuff, it's just like, we say what we say, but when it comes to these, we know the formula, even down to like what we talk about and how it's structured. It's all calculated. It's to the point now where I can literally do my stuff separate. He can do his stuff separate, and like, we'll kind of come together and listen on it. And if there's anything that we feel as though, we could fix this or fix that, we'll do it. But I mean, most of the time it just, we're kind of good with it. We trust each other, and, we definitely, there's not a better combination when it comes to collaborating than me and him. And that's a fact.
No, I mean, exactly. And and what's nice about your guys' sound too, is that it's refreshing to where, I mean, I've heard like, some old school, like anthems of like teams, like, I don't know if you've ever heard like the Miami Dolphins theme, like where it's just like,
no.
Oh, it's a drag. It is terrible. I mean, I don't know if I could, I don't even know if I could even play it on here with getting like copywritten. It's just like this old school, like just like drum beat anthem. I'm like, and it was made in like the 50s. So it's like, you understand it, but they still play it, at games today. I'm like, and I mean, I can still memorize it today because it's just so catchy, but it's like, God damn it, I hate this.
Yeah.
I mean, like one of the lyrics is in the song, and I think it goes, and when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm like, you're actually not, especially when like they would play that song when their team was out of the playoffs. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, it was terrible.
Absolutely. No, they got to like remix that or something.
Well, I think they did remix it. I think they had T-Pain on a remix in like 07 on it. It was like, and somehow that one was like,
T-Pain did it?
What's up?
You said T-Pain did it?
He got on a remix of it, I think, like in the early 2000s. That was an interesting. I mean, it's the same beat. I mean, well, I mean, not the same beat, but my God, wow, it was something. But yeah, no. So you guys obviously, it
wasn't good.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. As my math teacher used to refer to my grades when I would get a test back, he would say, "Oh, that test grade's interesting." It's an interesting song. That's the only thing I can say about it.
I got interesting grades too. It's okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then I guess so. Obviously, you guys came together and worked with each other. You guys were kind of talking on that. When did it, like you guys kind of talked a little bit about that? When did you guys decide to, like, do you remember when you actually talked with each other and said, "Hey, I do my thing, you do yours. Do you want to actually come together?" Do you remember when that conversation happened? Or
I do.
Yeah.
As far as the anthem, or just musically in general?
Or just coming together in general?
Yeah, that was around that high school time, right?
Well, so we had done stuff before, but once, like after high school, now there's a couple years where, like, I mean, professionally, I was actually getting experience, and I went from, the bedroom setup to recording in the studio with some of the best people like that do this, like legit.
Yeah.
So I was learning the crafts, and I was sitting up front, and a lot of people, man, they sit on their phone, bro. They go in the back, they don't pay attention. I sat up just like next to him. Like, let's say he's the engineer, and I'm sitting and I'm asking questions. So what's that? What's that? How do you do that? And I'm waiting because I always I never want to relinquish that skill set.
100%.
Trust me, in the music business, you want to be able to go, and even if you don't know the controls, like when we do songs, Randy, he knows stuff. He knows certain things that he likes on his vocals and blah, blah, blah. That's a big, big deal in the music business. You don't want to be helpless. You want to know how things go. So over time, there was a couple year period where, I wasn't doing nothing in my bedroom. I was doing stuff with all types of people and learning and growing my fan base and doing stuff like that. And I don't know, at some point I was kind of like, I want to just do more. Like, I want more content, and it's very expensive. So I said, let me kind of pull out my stuff and let me see if I take everything that I know now, what I could do, because I feel as though I know a lot more technique now. So I started doing stuff again on the side in the room again. And me and Randy were hanging out and stuff. And I was like, hey, can I show you some stuff that like I'm doing myself? He was like, play it. So I played a demo, and he was like, wow, bro. Like he was really feeling this one particular song. So I said, hey, do you want to like do something on it? And I think at the time you were kind of like, maybe because you like at that specific moment, you weren't really doing it as much.
No, not anymore. Yeah.
But ever since then, you've been like just doing it, and this was a long time ago as well.
Yeah.
So I think that was the moment where we had done like other stuff, but like, we just didn't know enough at that moment. You know what I mean? So it was probably around that 2015 time, like the Kiss concert time. And ever since then, you've been rapping, straight through really. And we just kind of started just like doing like some demos together just for fun. And for the potential of performing them and stuff like that. And I really started to get feedback from, friends and family and stuff, just going, wow, like you guys really collaborate really well. And it's a great mix. It's a great contrast of voices, and, just lyrics and melodies and everything that you can create. So yeah, no, man.
I mean, yeah, it's an amazing contrast that you guys are able to kind of have, and it really does work well. You mentioned that 2015 time. That's around that time that you actually ended up, I believe, releasing your first single, "Champion." That was back during the Patriots run in
the golden era.
It was in the middle of the second part of the dynasty, and they ended up, I think, going into Denver and losing in the AFC Championship game that year. But kind of what originally got you to eventually say, all right, we have our love for sports, we have our love for music, let's merge them. Like what made you guys like come to that conclusion?
One guy, his name's B.A. Roadblock. So
okay,
B.A., he's not with us anymore. But he was my road manager / kind of like bodyguard, like personal guy.
Yeah.
But he then over the years, I mean, he worked with me for like 8 years, like ever since, you know, I just started, and he was like, man, he became like a second father to me, you know, because we went everywhere together on the road when I was touring and stuff. And of course, he ended up getting to know Randy and getting to know my other friends. And he literally came to us one day, dude. I kid you not, because we, you know, we're all obviously big Patriot fans. Yeah. He literally came to us one day. We were at my house with me and Randy, you know, and you, me, my dad, and him. And he came in and he goes, "Hey, I had a dream, like a vision in my dream." And his mother had passed. He said his mother came to him and said, "You guys need to make a Patriot song. Like, you have to make a song for the Patriots." Wow. And what do you think our reaction was?
I don't know. What was your reaction?
We said, hell no.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it at all.
We said, hell no, because, right? And he goes, "Come on, man. You know, you guys are so talented. You can do it." And I'm going, "Bro, do you know how hard that is? Do you know how many people just gotta, you know, be jerks for no reason? And like, do you know how hard it is to please everybody? Like, most of the time, right? Tell me, right? A great song, right? Most of the time, half of the people that you know love it, and the other half can't love it because they're not in that age bracket, or they don't like that style of music. That's another thing, the genre, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hip hop is universal. I think technically speaking, it is actually the biggest genre right now.
Now it is, yeah.
Right? And that's amazing. But, you know, for us, like, the first Champion was super hip hoppy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And obviously, I got, you know, my sound, so that can kind of brighten it up in spots. But I mean, that beat is gritty, and like Randy's just going off doing his thing. And once again, that's all calculated. I mean, it's not like he just like freestyled it. I mean, you know, you can tell you can tell the process of how you came up with all the things you came up with, but everything was spoken about. It was like, we talked about kind of what it would be. And then it was like, literally, we started. So we told BA no. And he goes, "I don't know, just think about it." So we go, "All right." He literally leaves the room, and we look at each other. We're like, "Oh man," like, you know, because BA suggested it. We go, "All right, let's look at beats." So we start looking at beats, and we ended up finding one that was the Champion beat. And we looked at each other and we went, "This is it." So I said, "Randy, give me like 15 minutes. So he left the room, and I did my whole chorus, you know, mixed it and everything in like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then I called up him, my dad, and BA, everyone come in. So we all listened to it, and everyone said, "Oh, hell yeah." And then it's like, "All right, Randy, you know, I ended up doing a bridge too, but like at that point, it's like, "All right, Randy, like, you ready?" And he was like, "Hell yeah." And then talk about your process.
Yeah, no. And then it was on me. Like he pretty much laid the groundwork. It was on me to fill it all out, you know? You know, luckily we had, like, at that point, like 15 years of just like ass kicking to talk about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that made my job a little bit easier, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Talk about, you know, all that stuff. And I think that's what made it so special, you know what I mean? It was organic. It's funny that we actually didn't want to do it, and then it ended up being like a smash, you know? So yeah, it was fun. And I think that's what separates this one from the newer one, is that, we don't have that large lineage dynasty kind of thing to talk about, but we have the future, you know what I mean? And we're creating our new future. And I think that's what the new song embodies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know when the original song came out, I think I had like just gotten Spotify at the time. And I think I was looking back in some of my like old, like Spotify, like year of, and I think for 2016, like your song might've been like 2 in my top 100 songs.
Oh, wow.
Which is actually nuts. I didn't even realize it until I was like looking back on it, and it, like, I looked it up and it came up like in the playlist. I was like, oh shoot, like that's crazy. Wow, but nah, like, yeah, no. So it was nuts when they came out. I think I I think I first saw it being shared on like Pat's Perfect. I think that's how I found. That's where I ended up finding you guys.
That's our he's definitely become like kind of our boy.
So shout out to Pat's Perfect.
Pat's Perfect is the man, and he's supportive. And I also want to shout out I Am Pat's Nation.
Yeah, I Am Pat's Nation.
Yeah, Brian Walsh. He's got the 4th and Goal apparel. Great dude. Supports us 1,000%. I mean, listen, this is literally a business. If you're in entertainment at all, and I consider social media entertainment, like at this point, if you're in entertainment and you're in business, you best support each other. I'm telling you, you don't gotta, repost everybody's stuff, but when it's good, bro, when it's good, get behind it, because when the shoe's on the other foot, you will never, ever get like me personally, I don't forget nothing. That's something I can resonate with Brady about. I'll get a chip on my shoulder. So if I reach out to you with something that is good, if I'm coming to you with something, it's good. And if you know it and you choose not to help at this moment, I will never help you, because the roles will reverse. 100%. I've already been in that position, bro, where I've done things that I get all the fake people. Oh, now you want to hit us up. Now you want to hit me up because of this, because of that. Even, with this current version, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we put it out. We got a really great response,
Yeah.
But then when it hit the news, we were on Channel 7. So that's like the premier
the station around here. Yeah.
That's the station
it's like WBZ and then Channel 7.
Yeah. And we had WBZ hit us up too.
Oh, really?
So we were on, so WBZ radio hit us up. We did an interview. And then when Channel 7 hit us up, we did, the Zoom call, and we really didn't know they were going to do like what they did, but they did a full coverage story. And dude, it was on for 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I was seeing you guys share it on your story. I didn't get a chance to check out it when it came on the news, but I saw you guys reposting, like everyone talking about it though.
Yeah.
It was really dope. And my point is, once you get that plug, now you would agree that you kind of see people that maybe didn't share it like the first day or two, and it's kind of like, I mean, that's just the business. But
maybe some people that you haven't talked to in a couple of years are just hey guys, what's going on?
It's listen, at the end of the day, no matter when, I mean, for me, no matter when you want to share it, I appreciate it. Obviously, thank you very much. You don't have to embrace anything that I do. My thing is, if you are, from the area, especially, you should, because I would embrace anybody from my city doing something that's good. If it's positive, and if you're dope at what you do, I'm going to support, because why wouldn't I? I have a platform too. It just doesn't make sense, So if you don't support, it is what it is. If you do support, it's greatly appreciated. And, just like we shouted out a couple of our boys right now, we will hold you down in the future.
Yeah.
We don't forget nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so like we talked about how you guys got started with Champion and now going up to your current anthem, Patriot, which now is 6 years later. We're discussing this off the call before we got on with you guys. Well, kind of before we started recording, and we were talking about the fact that you released Champion, I believe back. It was during the 2015 season, but released in 2016, so 6 years ago. And then I think the following fall, when the Red Sox ended up making their run, it was during David Ortiz's last season, you guys released a song about them. And then I think after Super Bowl 51, you released a song about the Patriots. So we were talking about that, but since then it had kind of been a little bit since you guys had recorded a song, revolving around a team. I did want to make sure, because I checked out you guys' Spotify's and wanted to make sure that.
Great job, by the way. You did do your research.
Yeah, I want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. But so I was like, okay. And then I think I saw Pat's Nation post about you guys again. I was like, holy crap! Like, they're back with another song. So what ended up happening where you guys kind of went a little bit of time without posting, and what made you guys want to come back and do it again?
I think it was it was kind of like what we touched on earlier. I mean, we had the whole lineage song, you know what I mean? And that, I feel like that, I mean, that was 15 years of at the time, it was 15 years. I mean, now Brady was with the team for 20, but at the time there was 15 years of stuff to pull from.
And it didn't just encapsulate like one Super Bowl run. It basically encapsulated the whole thing,
the entire dynasty. And we actually won a couple more. We went to the Super Bowl 3 more times after that song.
Yeah,
because of our song.
Yes, absolutely. It's what it. Oh, go ahead.
No. So we went 3 more times and we won twice, right? So I think that helped that song still continue to have more life. And Brady ended up leaving, right? And we still love him down in Tampa, and he's doing his thing out there. But I think this year, and then we had the Cam year, which we don't gotta go there. But,
I mean, if anyone was living under a rock, his jerseys are currently on sale at Dick's for about $20. So
exactly. Exactly. So we had the kind of off year with the Cam experiment, and then this year it felt promising. With the Mac Jones, who was looking real good. I mean, we started off a bit rocky with those first 6 games, but even the games we lost, there were like moral victories. You know what I mean? We came real close with that Bucs game and with the Cowboys, and you know what I mean? So we were competing with the best teams. And then we went on that big, I believe, 7-game win streak.
Yes.
And, as that streak is going on, Brandon and I were kicking around ideas and going, hey man, if they keep this up, we should maybe, try to do an anthem and get the people going again.
Well, I got to give Randy more of the credit this time, because he was really the one. It was really you that was like, hey, what do you think about this?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, anytime Randy's gonna come to me with an idea, I'm gonna always, it's not considering it. I'm gonna be like, all right, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always
he didn't come to you with it for nothing.
100%. Like if he feels like, hey, if he's confident, I know we could recreate. Not even recreate, but we could do something different, because it's been so long, that is like just as dope, but totally different at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you should consider that. And I immediately said, if they beat the Bills, this was the game, the bad weather game where they like 3 passes. I said, if they beat the Bills, I'll literally go to the studio that night. And they won. And I was watching it in my mom's house, and I literally wrote the whole chorus and everything leaving my mom's house. And then when I got to the studio, it was all written, and I went right in there and recorded everything.
That's crazy.
And then sent it to him. He heard it in the morning, loved it. And then by the evening, he comes in and then lays all his stuff down.
Yeah.
And then I added in my little bridge after he was done. So, and then I mixed the song. So I do want to say as well too, that I did graduate from the bedroom setup. I opened up my own studio.
That's awesome.
About 5 years ago. So I've had my own spot, and I have artists like Randy and a couple other ones, Legacy, Kim and I've had Juno Walla in there, some great people from the Boston area. That's that amazing. Are super talented, great people. I record a lot of my stuff in there, as well as I've recorded a lot of stuff in Atlanta recently too. Oh, so, nice. My studio has been very beneficial, obviously to me, but also to the people around me. And we've gotten to create some amazing stuff in there. Stuff outside of the Patriots and the sports stuff. But we did do the Red Sox anthem in my studio, my new studio.
And that was actually one of the first songs we did in his new studio.
Complete, top to bottom. So you can kind of hear a bit of a jump in quality. And by the way, to this day, I'm still impressed how good the original Champion sounded, because
you couldn't have. I mean, you had me fooled that you're telling me that was recorded in a bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's incredible for the way that sounds.
Like a couple $100 setup, So I mean, but and I'd like to add in that, to be completely honest, our attitude was, I mean, look, we were so proud of all the stuff that we did with the sports anthems, but I know Randy really wanted to, put out just a large portfolio of his music. And you know, he, especially as a rapper, I mean, he's very talented, and, you know, he wants to do hip hop, and, you know, there's a lot more to talk about and rap about than sports, as much as we love them. So, you know, I think, like, for me, my stuff, I started doing stuff, like, I had stuff out before the anthem, so people kind of knew me as something different, and then I showed them that. And for Randy,
it was kind of like the other way.
It was
around.
The opposite. So now it's like, I got to show these people, right,
that I can do more than anthem songs. You know what I mean? And we both love to do them, but that doesn't define us.
Absolutely.
As artists, you know?
And then, you know, for me, I actually didn't release anything for a few years. I had signed a deal pre-pandemic, and you know how that goes. So
yeah, it's a cluster. You know what?
We're still working, and you know, but I mean, literally, bro, for a couple year period, I was just recording like a bunch of music. Like, I have so many songs, man. And I got to work out in Atlanta with a lot of, you know, talented people, and, you know, co-write songs, you know, write them, bring them from here to there. Like, literally, I'd be able to like record songs in my studio and go to Atlanta, and then they open the sessions right up out there, and then we'll like add. So it's cool what you can do nowadays. And, you know, it kind of, you know, just makes me feel really good about what I have out here. And, you know, that kind of justifies everything that we're doing with the quality and all that. So, but, you know, this year, man, 2021 at the end of it.
Yeah.
I also hopped on one of Randy's tracks called Rebirth. Okay. And, you know, that's just an original, fire record. You got to check it out.
Absolutely.
We did a video for it with Trill Bliss.
Okay.
Shout out to Trill. He's great. You've done a lot with Trill.
Yeah. Shout out to Trill. And we forgot to mention Scott Beer Media.
Without Scott Beer, there would be none of these anthem videos. Yeah. He is incredible.
Yeah. So he did all three of the of the videos. So the original Patriots, and then the Red Sox, and then this one as well.
Yeah. So and we did this one in a day, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So shout out to Scott.
That is nuts. All right. So, I mean, Brandon, you were kind of talking about from what I can tell, some of your favorite moments of, you know, going into music, and, you know, obviously being able to go to Atlanta to record and opening your own studio, and some of your favorite moments there. Randy, what would some of your favorite moments along this whole journey be for yourself?
So I think it would just be the sheer, releasing music. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of individual videos in the past couple of years. So I think that's very that's what I look forward to. You know what I mean? Brandon mixes and engineers all of my stuff. You know, I don't go to anyone else, and he kills it every time. So, you know, just like, even if he's not vocally on the song, he's got his hand, you know, he's got his imprint on whatever I put out, you know. So yeah.
And I gotta say, I love working on his stuff. Like he said, I don't need to be singing on it, but you know, Randy definitely always brings it. And, you know, people don't know, but we have like a whole album's worth of like music together that we just
unreleased. Yeah.
It's unfinished, unreleased stuff that like we're definitely just gonna, you know, we are awesome in our own right, you know. So it's like we definitely like to do our own thing, you know, because we are individuals, we're not a group. But when we collaborate, it's like almost like we are a group. And like that's the kind of cool thing about it, is the synergy is so much there that when we collaborate, it doesn't kind of feel like just two individuals doing a song. Like it almost feels like something where it's like, wow, this sounds like a legit like duo, I guess, if you want to call it that. So hey, I always take it as a big compliment if anyone wants to, you know, throw the duo word around, because you know, we got the friendship, we got the history, and we got some great music that we've done together. For me, man, you know, moments though, like as far as like stuff that obviously besides all the anthem stuff with Randy, that's it, you know, that's at the top of some of my favorite moments so far. Probably for me would be the Kiss 108 concert. You know, it was the Xfinity Center in Mansfield.
Oh, I mean, that place is awesome,
dude.
So I can't even imagine what it's like performing there.
Well, I had been to like, a lot of, summer jams and Kiss concerts and Chris Brown concerts. And, I would be like, I went to a Chris Brown concert, right? Myself alone, and I got really good seats, specifically because, I think Chris Brown's super talented. Yeah. And I was just studying him, like everything he was doing and how he was performing. And, I was willing to spend the money to get that close, to be able to actually like take something from it. It was like going to school almost,
It's an investment.
It is. So that was definitely like, as a performer, that was my shining moment for me. Was that specific? And like I said, I had done different tour dates with like Big Sean and Tyga and stuff like that. But this was like, my whole family was there, 20,000 people, for the city. I'm backstage and, Kelly Clarkson's there and Flo Rida is there and Jason Derulo's there. Neo is there. Fifth Harmony at the time, like Nick Jonas, like,
oh my God,
I mean, dude, it was badass.
that's insane. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even know. I don't really feel like Xfinity Center even does things, even before COVID. I don't even think they were really doing anything remotely close to having that many people at a thing like that nowadays. I mean, I went to Summer Jam, I think back in 2018. They had it was the year Post Malone performed. I think they had I think they had Jordan Lucas come out, some other guys from around here, and it was solid. They had a good bunch of names, but I mean, just that kind of a list, man, that is ridiculous. I mean,
it was a really loaded year. And I mean, I think the Kiss concerts are great, but some years are better than others.
Yes.
With who's on it. Yeah. And I mean,
you got a good one.
Yeah, I was supposed to be on it like literally like 3 years, and like politically just things happened. So to me, it happened when it was supposed to happen. And, that's just definitely something that I'm really proud of. And there's someone else I want to shout out. I want to shout out Snooki. Snooki, sure, right? And I don't know if you know this, but Snooki is a good friend of mine. And
really,
so I met Snooki in like 2012, right?
Wow.
From a person that I was working with. And she was actually looking to get into, this side of the business and kind of back artists and stuff. And, obviously the social media driven business, I feel now. But she really just, we hit it off, and she's like the bomb and totally supported me a lot. And we did some really great stuff together. And she's still someone that, in the future we can do more. But, I just want to shout her out because she was very, very supportive to me. And I actually performed at her birthday party. And
that's amazing.
MTV was there, and they had approached me and said, "Hey, I love that song that you did, whatever the last one you did." And it was called Love and Music. Mm-hmm. And they said, "You should definitely do a video and shoot that to us because, if it's dope, like we'll do something with it." So I did, and I ended up debuting it on MTV.com and did a whole press release on it and everything. So, stuff like that, stuff like that is just, I love it when someone proposes a challenge, like, see what you can do with this, or make that song. Like even with this new Patriot song, like, people that is in our circle is like, well, it's gotta be like just as good or better. And it's like, we actually feel personally like this song, like Patriot New Era Anthem, the song is a better song. And it's a different style than the original. Like even the original video is like documentary style. It's like a movie, right? And like Randy said, he had 15 years of lineage to pull from within the verses. And my chorus and my bridge is all about being a champion. It's about just basically saying, remember that we're the best, right? Whereas this track, there's nothing really to pull from. So, it was more about the vibe. It's more about a feeling of what, like who we are being the Patriots, So at the end of the day, fear us no matter what. It don't matter who's on the team. It's the Patriots coming to you, So you can't run, you can't hide. So that's kind of like the vibe of this one. But, we actually feel like this is a better song personally.
100%. I mean, that is amazing, man. So obviously you guys have had a ton of success over the past couple of years. I guess moving forward, obviously you just released this track, but I guess moving forward with yourself, what are some goals that you kind of have that you want to achieve maybe within the next couple of years or so for yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm planning on putting out a couple projects this year.
Okay.
And those are two things that are currently in the works, and that I'm excited to share with everyone. And so we'll be back. That'll be two solo projects, but
Okay.
You never know what comes from either of us.
Definitely. I'm going to be working on releasing singles and videos. Definitely solo stuff because of the pre-pandemic stuff that I told you. A lot of my solo work has been kind of tied up. So I've been like just waiting to be able to debut that and show people like, where I'm at right now and all the stuff that I've, learned, and kind of got a new sound, got a new thing coming. So I can't wait to show people that. In the meantime, I would probably say this is our last sports anthem. We love doing them, but I personally, I would be interested only doing them again if a team, like if the Celtics reached out to us. And I know that they have done something with another Boston rapper in the past and everything. So I know they do that. So if any of the premier teams want, whether it's Bruins, Celtics, obviously we've done them for the Patriots. The Patriots was they gave us the green light to do what we had to do as far as shooting there and everything like that. And, the video is, it's all what it needs to be. But I mean, I personally would only be interested in doing something again if we were more hired to do it. You know what I mean? Because,
No, I feel that 100%. I mean, it's definitely something that you want to like see and then grow with. It definitely seems like you guys have a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the future. But boys, unfortunately, we are now down to the wire, which means that we're going to do a little run through of what we talked about in this episode, and then we will send you guys off into the day. Obviously, we welcomed in Brandon Capp and Randy Lowe to the show. Thank you guys so much for coming on coming on today, boys. It was a great time having you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having us.
You're awesome.
Yeah. It was an amazing time having them on the show. For anyone that's wondering about them, their new single Patriot, the new Era Anthem, is now streaming, so make sure you guys go check that out. And on today's episode, we talked about how these guys got their starts, and whether it be from sports to music, how they decided to come together and collaborate. We discussed it all today. It was an amazing time getting a chance to talk with these guys. I'm really excited for what's going to come up next. And obviously these guys have a ton of great stuff coming up in the future. But before we go, if you guys are not following Down to the Wire at this point, what the heck are you guys doing? We are available everywhere you guys can find podcasts, whether that be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube. But the main hub that you guys can follow us on is our Instagram. You can follow that at down.tothewire. Again, guys, at down.tothewire on Instagram. Boys, I'll have you guys do some shout outs for yourself, and then I say we get on with it.
All right. So guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Instagram and Twitter are Who Is Randy Lowe? And Facebook is just Randy Lowe. So, check me out there. Check me out on YouTube. Just Randy Lowe on YouTube. And man, there's going to be a lot more coming. So check me out.
So it's Brandon Capp. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's B_CAPP. Facebook, Brandon Capp. And YouTube is BCAP Official. So tons of new music and videos coming out this year. Definitely, there will always be more future collaborations with me and Randy. A lot of great original stuff, a lot of great music that you could definitely enjoy. So be on the lookout for all the new music and projects this year. There's some great stuff in the pipelines, and stay tuned.
Absolutely, boys. Obviously, again, their new single Patriot is now streaming. Boys, thank you again for coming on. And from Down to the Wire, I'm Brian Costa.
Randy Lowe.
Brandon Capp.
And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Take care and peace out.